All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin. It was a really exciting draw session that we had yesterday, Kishan. Obviously, you were there. The boys would have probably seen it as well. And off the back of that, obviously, whole heap of Champions League euphoria that's going around, but there is still Premier League matches happening this weekend. There's FA Cup tie that's very, very important for us, and obviously the other teams as well. So we're going to talk about that. Basically, we're going to try and do this once a week, same time every week, and this will be a new thing. This will be a new show called The Preview, where we're going to preview all the matches of the weekend, mostly Premier League matches. Obviously, this weekend there's some FA Cup matches, so it makes it a little bit more interesting. But this is what's going to happen. First of all, as you can see, the panel. I'll go through the panel. We've got quite a lot of new members here, all from different fan base. Makes it so much more exciting. Kudos to everyone that's joined so far and everyone that will join throughout the stream and will watch this down the track. Thank you heaps for your support all the time. Let's just go through this. First of all, we've got Amar, Liverpool fan. How you doing, my man?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. All right. Bit disappointed that we're not in the FA Cup still, but still happy to join you guys, talk about it.
Yeah, brilliant. Look, I mean, you guys have had a very, very tough season with all the injuries and whatnot. At the end of the day, you're still in the Champions League. We will talk to you about whether you think you're in the hunt for the top four, which is going to be interesting. A lot of Liverpool fans are sort of 50-50 about it. It's be interesting to talk about that. We've got Kishan Suchak. How you doing, Arsenal fan?
Sounds like he's on a plane.
Kishan, are you on mute?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good to be on.
Bro, your Wi-Fi is off the charts, probably. Sort that out, Kishan, man. That's going to be difficult. Someone help the brother out.
Wait.
Anyway, while he sorts himself out, we'll go to Rahul. Rahul, my man, another Arsenal fan, has things.
It's good, man. How are you? You good?
Yeah, good. 10:35 p.m. on a Saturday. It's I'm loving life, man. It's the weekend, so very, very exciting.
That's some dedication.
Yeah, man. You gotta work hard for this channel. Kishan, my man, Kishan Patel, that is. We've got two Kishans here, so I gotta watch myself here. Kishan has things, my man.
Yeah, man. I'm still buzzing off that. I can't believe how good it was for us. And then I'm here with a bunch of my mates, so it's all good.
Brilliant. Yeah, by the way, these are all Kishan's mates, which makes it that much better. Kishan Suchak, tell me you've got things sorted out. How's everyone gone?
I'm here now. But,
we can hear you. It's just delayed, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm just glad to be on, really.
That's better. No, that's fantastic. I think we finally got you. I don't know what this is. This might be like an inside joke. MCD Wi-Fi. What does that mean, man?
McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Shout out to all the people that's in so far. We've got Soccer Turtle, man. Soccer Turtle, it's been a long time since I saw you. So thank you for joining. Obviously, we see you a lot in this channel, so thank you heaps. Deepa's got here saying, nice to see Suchak, Amar, Rahul joining. Brilliant. This must be one of your friends, guys. So that's good to see. And then Adam Patel, great to see some new faces. Guys, let's get straight into it. There's a lot to talk about here. So first of all, let's talk about this one, West Ham versus Arsenal. Let's go straight to the Arsenal boys. Obviously, West Ham fighting for top four. Arsenal, I don't know. I personally think they're not really in the mix for top four. I'll go to you, Rahul, first up. I mean, it's strange. I want to give you my sort of feeling about Arsenal. I feel like, I don't know, with Mikel Arteta, yeah, he's been doing well. He's got that North London derby win. Obviously, you guys went through in the Europa League against Olympiacos. You did have that loss, the last one. But overall, I don't know, Rahul. And this is what I want to hear from you. do you really think Mikel Arteta is he the manager that's going to bring you guys back into the top four next season? I personally don't think you guys have any chance for top four this season. I want to hear from you about that, whether you think you guys are still in the hunt for top four. And also I want to hear from you whether you think Mikel Arteta, if he's given the right sort of signings, can he crack the top four next season? What's your thoughts?
So, no, I do agree with you. I don't think Arsenal will get top four this season. See, the issue is Arsenal are playing all the teams around them right now. However, we've just lost too much ground beforehand to even put a genuine challenge for the top four. If we had won, let's just say that Wolves game, which David Luiz got sent off for, which I think he was wrongly sent off for. If we had won that game the other day against Burnley, all the other teams are dropping points, and we can actually be playing all these teams. We've just beaten Spurs. We're playing West Ham. We can beat West Ham. We've got Liverpool coming up. Liverpool aren't in the best form. Obviously, knowing Arsenal will still probably make them look like they were last season. But if we were to go beat them, there would have been a potential chance. But we've just lost too much ground for us to even have a think about top four now. Now, with the draw coming in, yesterday, the Europa League draw, we're in the quarterfinals. We've got our route to the final. We've avoided Manchester United. So I do think Arteta may start looking to put all of his eggs in the Europa League basket in terms of getting the Champions League, because I don't think it's going to happen from the Premier League now. We've just lost too much ground. Now, in terms of Arteta, I'm mixed with Arteta, as the boys know. When Arteta was first appointed, I did like that. I liked having Arteta in. It was good to see. So I always thought when we had Unai Emery, culturally, he never fitted in at Arsenal. He never fitted in. When Arteta came in, he knew Arsenal as a player. He knew Arsenal as a opposition assistant coach. He knew how to beat Arsenal. He knew the ins and outs of Arsenal, why they were so bad, what they were doing good. So I thought Arteta would have a better knowledge and a culture of understanding Arsenal than Unai Emery ever would. So I always thought with Mikel Arteta coming in, he'd know how to improve Arsenal because he knows how to beat Arsenal. And he sees Arsenal every week in the Premier League. Now, things haven't gone his way. There was a big period of time where I was thinking, I'm doubting Arteta because he wasn't making his changes enough. He wasn't reacting enough. He kept playing Willian. He kept playing other players that weren't performing well. He managed to turn Xhaka around on his side, but Xhaka's always got a mistake in him, and he keeps trusting him. He keeps playing Hector Bellerin. Hector Bellerin doesn't offer us anything offensively, and his positioning, he's so poor. He doesn't have his pace anymore, so we're always weakened on that right-hand side. But Bellerin's his adopted son. He loves Bellerin. He keeps playing him. Now, he needs to stop doing that and stop trusting players that'll keep failing him, and start trusting players like the Bukayo Sakas, like the Emil Smith-Rowes. So I feel like he made those changes and he forced them in. He started playing Smith-Rowe, started playing Saka, etc. It was too late by then. Is when we played you lot in the Boxing Day match. But it was too late by then. So I'm a bit. But with Arteta at Arsenal, I do think Arteta is the least of the issues, in my opinion. I do think the board is the biggest issue at Arsenal. Then it's the owner. Then it's the players. And then it's Arteta. I'm not saying I'm Arteta in or out. I'm a more Arteta out at the moment just because I don't think he's been reactive enough. But I do think he's the least of the issues. There are other issues at the club, such as the players. The board, I don't like at all. And the owner clearly doesn't care about us.
Yeah, fair point, man. That you've gone very deep into it, man. You've been thinking about all of this, which is really, really great. Obviously, as you said, you just don't think that you guys are in the top sort of four mix of things. You want to throw all your eggs into the one basket, which is the Europa League. Let's go to you now, Kishan Suchak, which is another Arsenal fan. Do you think you guys are a strong shout now? I suppose is that the biggest possibility for you now to make it into the Champions League? I mean, is the league fixtures? Do you still obviously this particular match, against West Ham? It's still a London sort of derby match. I know it's not the biggest London derby out there, but it's still a London derby nonetheless. I mean, do you put enough emphasis on this match, or do you sort of start saying to yourself, you know what? I mean, the league's going to go nowhere. It's all about the Europa League now. That's probably more of a realistic opportunity to make it to the Champions League. What's your thoughts?
So I think Rahul did allude to a lot of it, but I think in terms of league position, obviously there's no chance of the top four now. And I think actually funnily enough, earlier on in the season, Arteta's actually shown that he doesn't actually rate our chances in the league either. And there's a game actually against Leicester, funnily enough, where I think he rested about 6 or 7 players, which has told me everything that he thinks about our league chances, really. And I think with getting the draw the other day and kind of having that clear route to the final, obviously with Villarreal on the way, which would be tough, but I think it is literally just a case of just putting all the eggs in the Europa basket, really.
No, fair comment. I think you guys got Kishan. You guys got in Europa. Was it Villarreal or who do you guys have next up?
So it's Slavia Prague.
Oh, Slavia Prague.
Quarters.
Slavia Prague. Yeah, Slavia Prague.
Then it'll be the winner of Villarreal, and I think it's Zagreb.
Right. Slavia Prague. I think Slavia Prague, they beat Rangers, I believe. So that's not going to be that easy. Just quickly from both of you boys, I'll go to Rahul first up. West Ham, Arsenal. Obviously, West Ham gone for top 4. What are you expecting in this match? A lot of Arsenal fans are thinking that you guys could actually get a victory here. But I'll go to you, Rahul, first up. What's your prediction on this particular match?
I do think we can get a result here. I'm not sure if we will get a win. I think it might be a draw because West Ham at home is going to be a difficult game. I'm not sure if we'll win. We don't know what Premier League Arsenal's going to turn up. So I don't think we'll lose because we're in high spirit right now. We've just made it through to the next round. We beat Spurs on the weekend. I hope we win, but I'm going to predict a draw if I was to make a prediction.
Fair enough. Kishan Suchak, what's your thoughts on this particular matchup, you guys versus West Ham?
So I reckon there will be quite a few changes, considering that we just played on Thursday, and obviously West Ham have had the extra rest. But at the same time, I think we've shown in previous matches when we have made changes, it's not actually affected us too much in the league. Especially, for example, last week when we dropped Aubameyang, won the derby still, and we dropped players against Leicester, as I previously alluded to. So I'm actually expecting a win, although I do think it'll be tough because obviously West Ham are quite a good team at the moment. But yeah, I think we're going to do you boys a favour, really.
I think that'd be good. I think that'd be very good, Kishan. Very good answer. I would want a favour. I want you guys to beat West Ham. Honestly, that'd be great because that takes care of West Ham. I've got a comment here from Amar. Hate to say this, but if Arsenal gets into top 4, our league is rubbish. Absolutely. We've got another comment here from Pri that I want to just bring this up. The scenes when Villarreal get Arsenal and good evening knocks Arsenal out. That's going to be quite interesting. That's going to be a very, very good matchup. Let's go to you, Amar, next up. I know you're a Liverpool fan. There's not any Liverpool sort of matches at the moment. We'll talk about a little bit about Liverpool, but a bit down the track. I do want to now talk about the next Premier League game, which is Aston Villa versus Tottenham. I feel like Tottenham's in a very strange situation at the moment. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I want to get your thoughts on this, Amar. I feel personally that match against Dinamo Zagreb, after being 2-0 up and then losing 3-0, that's a sackable offense. Like, I don't know how Jose Mourinho is still a manager of that club, because for me, that is unacceptable. Like, if you want to be taken as a serious club, if Spurs want to be taken as a serious club, that result, I mean, and then that was off the back of losing in the North London derby as well, 2-1. So they followed it up with a 3-0 away loss to Dinamo Zagreb after being 2-0 up. So from your perspective, before we get into this match against Aston Villa, what do you think? I mean, what sort of situation Spurs in at the moment?
Yeah, it is really strange. I think it's a weird one with Jose Mourinho because I've always hated him, even when he was at Chelsea and that Demba Ba goal with Gerrard. But I've always had that vendetta against him. But with that, he's always up there. With him and Pep, he's always got to be up there. So when he went Spurs, I remember me and the boys, we were all like, oh, how good are they going to be if he gets them in shape? But it's strange. It's like something's just lacking there. And you've had the conversations when Jose was at United as well. And is his player manager style out of date now, whatnot? And at first I was like, no, that's got nothing to do with it. It's just the players. But now you have to think, if he can't get the players on his side, which clearly he can't, and he said himself that the players didn't put in enough effort, the attitude wasn't there, that's got to come from the manager.
Yeah.
Of course, the players have to step up, but that's got to come straight from the manager. I know we're going through a really poor patch, but you think of Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool side, you think they'll run through a brick wall for him. I don't see that with any Spurs players at all. And I don't think it's anything about the caliber of player there, because obviously Kane's world class, Son's world class, but you think of the rest of the squad players, it's still a really good squad. I'd say it's
a
better than the
very,
Arsenal
very
squad.
good squad,
It should,
man.
it
look,
should
and
be challenging very, very well, and probably should be in the top 4. But
I agree, man. And Dombele, then they've got Gareth Bale, they've got some quality. When you have Harry Kane and Son as well, I mean, Lucas Moura, another one that comes in my mind. It has to be coming down to, I mean, look, it's a lot of the Spurs fans will tell you it's not just Jose, it's the players as well. They think it's toxic, and obviously the board and whatnot. But I just feel like with all that caliber of players, how could Jose not? I mean, for me, it's just crazy to think that they lost 3-0 away from home. Away from home to Dinamo Zagreb when they really should be going through. Kishan Patel, I want to hear from your point of view now. I mean, this particular matchup, just a couple of weeks ago, we were sort of saying that maybe Spurs are back into the top 4 mix of things. They've had a couple of good victories against, I think, Burnley and Crystal Palace and so on and so forth. Their front 3 were really clicking with Gareth Bale, Son, and Harry Kane. But I feel like they've just hit the lowest of the lowest now. And this matchup against Aston Villa away from home, Aston Villa at home, probably Grealish might be back for this particular fixture. I mean, I don't know how they come back from this, man. It's just, from here, I feel like they're just going to go on a bit of a decline even more. Like, what's your thoughts? Do you think they're going to bounce back on this particular match?
I remember when we did our top 4 predictions, I actually said Tottenham would get 4th. Don't think that anymore now. I think, before the Arsenal game, they had a good spike of form and they were actually scoring goals. You had Bale I think he got a brace against Palace and he was playing really well. Yeah. So I thought that would continue and I thought they'd beat Arsenal. But then since that game and the Zagreb game, I don't know if you watched the Lloris interview after the game and he just went off on one. He was talking about club and whatnot and they tried to get more out of him, but he wouldn't say. But from reading on The Athletic as well, it was clear that the players said they think that Mourinho's style too reactive. Like they think.
Oh no, we lost Kishan this time. Now you guys are having some trouble with your Wi-Fi today, man. I think
it's the Kishan boys, isn't it?
It has to be one Kishan.
Isn't it? It's always one.
Yeah, Kishan. We've lost Kishan now. Let's go back to let's listen to what the Gunners fans have to say about this. Obviously, you guys be loving it at the moment with Spurs side absolutely in the mud. But even from your perspective, you must be thinking, oh man, like they've hit pretty low. Rahul, from your side, obviously, looks like Kishan's back. Kishan, man, what's going on, man? You guys are having massive Wi-Fi issues, man.
I don't know what's going on. To be fair, me and the other Kishan live in the same area, so something might be going on. But like I was saying, I think the players were saying that he's being too reactive and it's always about what other teams are going to do and not about like how they're going to set up and how they're going to play in attacking patterns and stuff like that. So if you have players like Kane and Son and they're looking around the league and seeing how we're playing, how Spurs are playing, even Liverpool, they have good attacking patterns with their front players. And then you look at them and it's like, I don't think Mourinho has to tell them anything. It's just get the ball to them and they'll do anything. So I think they probably want a bit more coming from the coach.
Yeah, man. I don't know how Jose, as you said, that interview of Hugo Lloris right after the match was so damning. The way he was speaking, how he was saying some of the players, not doing enough, and how it's just not in sync. Everyone's just all over the place. To play dinosaur football, you need JT and Check at the back. But with Dyer and Davis, you will be mid-table. You know what? This is such a good point, even though there's a little bit of sarcasm here from Pre in terms of dinosaur football. But it's so true that the way Jose plays, he plays in a manner where he thinks players like Dyer and Davies and whoever else that they have, that they're quite capable of defending and they're quite capable of keeping clean sheets after clean sheets, because that's how Jose is setting up, that you're not going to concede. But these players are not good enough to play that defensive style of game. They're simply not good enough. So you're right, like as Amar was saying, that it has to come down to the manager. The way he's sort of setting them out, and the right personnel and whatnot. But let's just do a quick round in regards to Aston Villa and Tottenham. Let's go to Rahul first. Rahul, what's your thoughts in Aston Villa versus Tottenham? Your prediction?
I think Jack Grealish might be coming back. And the way Spurs are playing right now, I think Villa could do them. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Villa.
Yeah, fair point. I'd probably agree as well. Kishan Suchak, from your point of view, Aston Villa versus Tottenham, what's your prediction?
So I think with the extra rest that Villa have had, and obviously the bad week that you've just alluded to in terms of Spurs in the last couple of games, I definitely think Villa are going to get the edge on this one. I'm going 2-1 Villa as well.
Yeah, fair point. I'm going to find it very difficult for Spurs, because Villa are very good defense. They've got very good attack as well. They'll probably just sneak a victory here. Amar, your prediction on this one, Aston Villa versus Tottenham?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Villa as well. I just feel like they'll want it more. They'll be more up for it, whether Grealish is back or not. Traore, Watkins, they've got some good players there. Can nick a goal, get a result.
Absolutely. And don't forget, they've got Ross Barkley, the one Ross Barkley from Chelsea. You never know what he's kept off. Kishan Patel, what's your thoughts, man? Spurs versus Aston Villa.
I think Villa will get something, but I think it'll be a draw.
Nah. You're going with a draw?
I'm going 1-1.
Fair enough. Let's move on to the next match. We've got some. So those are the pretty much Premier League matches that are the big Premier League matches for this weekend. Let's look at some FA Cup matches. As I said, we'll look at the Chelsea one right at the end, because obviously we've got a lot to talk about that. Next up in the FA Cup, Everton versus Manchester City. I'll start with you, Kishan Patel, with this one. Everton versus Manchester City in the FA Cup. I feel like Everton, I remember I had Everton Rose, and I was asking her, what's your thoughts about this season? What's the ambition? What's your expectation? She did say that top four wasn't the expectation, because they know that it was just the first proper season under Ancelotti, and they were sort of hoping that anywhere between sort of top six, they'll be happy with it. But she did say that a silverware, and obviously they're in the FA Cup, so they're very keen on getting this. What's your thoughts? Do you think Everton has any sort of chance against Manchester City? Mind you, Manchester City are pretty much in all of the competition. They're in the finals in the League Cup. They're in the Champions League. Obviously, they're most likely going to win the Premier League. And obviously, in the FA Cup, they're still in the run. So they go for the quadruple here. But do you see Everton doing any sort of upset here?
It wouldn't surprise me that much, to be honest. When you look at the 4 games, I think if there is to be one shock, then it would be this one. But it wouldn't be that surprising, because you look at the players that Everton have got. They've got, especially in attack, they've got Richarlison, who's found some form, and you've got Calvert-Lewin up front. I don't know if James Rodriguez is back. He might be there. Then you got be. So it wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, I think they could possibly get through, but I can't see them getting through 3 teams and actually winning it at the end. Because I think even when you look on the other side of the draw, you've got United in there, you've got us still in there. If they could get through City and then have the draw against the Southampton/Bournemouth side and get into the final, then you never know what can happen in the final. But that's what the FA Cup is. I think last season, you wouldn't have said Arsenal would have won it from the semis, but they did. So I think you can't really rule Everton out like that.
Yeah, no, fair point. Look, at the end of the day, they've got the players, as you said, Richarlison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, James Rodriguez, if he's fit, he could come back as well. Obviously, they've got a very, very good manager in Ancelotti. Let's go with the boys as well, see what they think. I'll start with you, Rahul. Everton versus Manchester City. I mean, obviously City, I don't know how much effort they're going to put in all of these competitions. They're in the Champions League. I think the League Cup final is just around the corner as well, right? Like that's in April. So that's not that far away. Obviously, they've got the Premier League. I think they need to win like 5 more matches to wrap up the Premier League. What do you think? Do you think that one of these competitions they're going to slip up, or they're going to go through and beat Everton in this one and move forward? What's your thoughts?
See, I think with the international break coming up, I think Pep's more likely to play a strong team now because he doesn't have anything to look forward to in the next couple of days or the next couple of weeks. So I do, plus knowing Pep, like he can rotate anyone and still have a strong team out. That's good enough to beat Everton, I think. I think Everton will cause them problems. I do think it will be a close game, but I do think City's class will just show at the end of it. And it doesn't matter who they put in, who they change. They've got no reason not to play their strong team. And like, what is their strong team? They can put João Cancelo left back. They can put
like
Zinchenko
3
left
teams.
back. Yeah, and they can bring Fernandinho in for Rodri, and his experience will be his experience will be invaluable for them still.
Yeah.
They can bring Aguero or Jesus on. They don't even play right now. Aguero and Jesus can come in. So it's like
the depth is insane.
It's like they can rotate and they can still put a strong team out. So, and with the international break coming up, there's no reason for them not to put a strong team out anyways. So I do think Man City will go through in this.
Yeah, fair point. Let's do the quick rounds here. Kishan Suchak, from your perspective, prediction on Everton versus Manchester City.
I'm with Rahul on this one. I can't see anything but a City win, especially given the fact that I think Everton actually have the first 2 keepers injured as well. So I think they're going to have an 18-year-old in goal from what I was reading earlier. So yeah, nothing but a City convincing win for me.
Yeah, fair enough. I think City win as well. I mean, I know Everton's going to try their level best. I think it'll be a very good game, honestly. But I think City, as Rahul said, they could just put their C team and they'll still put up a really good fight. Amar, from your perspective, man, what's your prediction on this particular match?
Yeah, I can only see a City win as well. I mean, I agree with Kishan that Everton won't win it, but I don't want them to gain momentum because they're just a pain in the arse at the moment. And them getting a chance to win a trophy is only going to give them more momentum with Ancelotti to progress and move further. But we need to keep them down in that 7th sort of zone. There's enough competition as there is in the top 4.
Yeah, no, fair point. Looks like everyone's gone with the City win here. Let's go to the next FA Cup game, which is Leicester versus Man United. Another very much an exciting tie here. I'll start with Kishan Suchak on this one. Leicester versus Man United. Man United, they're just squeezing out results. They squeezed out a result against West Ham, squeezed out a result against AC Milan. They're moving in. I feel like they're probably favourites now in the Europa League to win that. Obviously, Arsenal's in the mix as well. And now they're in the FA Cup against Leicester. Leicester are going to try their level best because obviously this is an opportunity for them to get a silverware, but they're in the top 4 mix as well. So how much they want to sort of, juggle these 2 competitions, but obviously the international break's coming up. What's your thought, Kishan, on this one? I mean, this looks like a very, very good tie, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I think this is one of the ties of the weekend, actually. I think it definitely helps Leicester, the fact that United played a tough game against Milan midweek. And not only that, but I think Leicester are actually coming off, is it a 5-0 win they had last week against Sheffield United?
Yeah.
So, I'm actually going against kind of the favourites and backing Leicester in this one.
No, fair point, man. Fair point. Amar, what's your thoughts on this particular matchup? Can you see Leicester producing a bit of an upset with, obviously Vardy, and I think they still have Harvey Barnes and Maddison probably out, but Tielemans have really stepped up in recent times. Or do you think Man United might just have a bit too much once again and just squeeze out another result?
I actually think Leicester can get a win. Either result wouldn't surprise me, but I think a win is more needed for United because, let's be honest, like you said, City are going to win the league. And how many years has it been now that United haven't had a trophy? And you can only say they're progressing so much. They need a trophy, and this is a massive opportunity. So I think a loss is a lot more to United as it would be to Leicester. I think for Leicester, it's just have a go, really. see what you can get. I know there's a few injuries there, but it's just a free shot. And if they can get a chance to get to the final, then great.
Yeah, man. I always enjoy these free shots. Generally, the teams that have that kind of attitude, they play quite entertaining football and sometimes just trump the favourites. As a quick roundsy, Kishan Patel, thoughts, prediction on this particular match, Leicester versus Man United?
I'll go 2-1 United. I think from this round, is there extra time as well? So I think I'd go. I don't
know. Is there extra time from this round?
I think there is, because they're not doing second ties this season.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing second ties, so it could just be extra time.
I'll go 2-1 United in extra time.
Oh wow! So you're going with like full time 1-0 and then United to win. At the end of the day, United to win. Rahul, what's your prediction on this particular matchup, Leicester versus Man United?
I think Leicester will do it. I think Leicester will win it. I think it'll be 2-1 to Leicester in normal time.
Man, I'd love a Leicester win, man. Honestly, that'd be great to see. Thompson Jones just confirmed it. Yes, it is extra time. So, to be honest, I mean, look, I wouldn't want to watch that particular match beyond 90 minutes and then go to extra time and just track on, just finish it, just end it. But yeah, I would like to see Leicester go through. That would be a massive dagger on Man United. Boys, let's talk about the big one. Chelsea versus Sheffield United. I mean, big one in the sense that it's not a huge. I mean, no disrespect to any Sheffield United fans watching this, but at the end of the day, it's a big one for us in the sense that FA Cup is something that we are definitely realistically aiming to win this particular competition, because this is one where I could see us win the silverware. I'll start with my man Kishan Patel. Obviously, this is Chelsea-centric, so it'll be interesting to talk to a Chelsea fan. Obviously, I'll get your thoughts as well. We'll do the lineup and whatnot to the other boys. But Kishan, Thiago Silva is still out. Tammy Abraham is still out. But honestly, I'm not too worried. I think it's a fair game for them to be just completely rest up, heal up, and then show up. Once the international break is over, and there's some big Premier League matches, and obviously the Champions League tie against Porto. So I want Thiago Silva to be very fit for that, and obviously for Tammy Abraham as well to be fit for that. Are you looking to do a lot of rotations? Are you looking to give some players like Pulisic a bit more sort of chance in this particular match? Obviously Callum Hudson-Odoi, who hasn't had much minutes as well. Is that how you sort of looking at it, or are you sort of looking at it that, now, you know what, I don't want to take this game too lightly. We need to put away Sheffield United. What's your thoughts?
I think when you look at this game, the only thing that could probably harm us is complacency, because at least Dynamo Zagreb had a manager in jail. Sheffield United don't even have a manager right now, so it's like I don't see how they could come up with something to beat us. But I've seen us lose to worse teams in this competition down the line, so you do have to be careful. And they've just been doing so bad in the Premier League that this is their one chance to get away from that kind of stuff. So they could just go all out. And you know how McGoldrick is against us as well. He loves a goal against us. But I can't see anything other than us beating them, to be honest. And I don't even think it matters who's out. I think it's kind of like we were talking about City. I think right now he's got everyone playing really well. That it don't matter if someone's out. He just puts the next guy in. Like you saw the other day, Christensen had his tummy ache. He put Zuma in. Yeah. Made no difference to us. In this game, I expect to see Gilmour. And if we're winning, I'd put on Angerin to get a few minutes as well. So I do want to see Gilmour in this game. So I think we should go slightly weaker, but we will have a strong bench and we'll have other strong players in and around the team. So way too much for Sheffield United, I think.
It's interesting that you're saying that you would want to see Gilmour and Angerin, but I feel like we shouldn't have that attitude going in and giving these players some minutes now. I feel like this is the crunch period of the season, and minutes sort of to some of these players should have been given previously to when we played Barnsley and Luton Town and those now it's getting serious. So and obviously we're going to do our lineup, and we'll see how we sort of negotiate our selections on that. But Kishan Suchak, from your point of view, how's the Arsenal fan base? I mean, looking at Thomas Tuchel, I mean, have you guys been impressed by how a new manager has come in? And a lot of people were saying, oh, initially it was just a honeymoon period, and maybe just a new manager bounce. But do you feel it's more than that now, though? Like, is that how you sort of starting to think that, no, you know what? I think these guys are looking like a serious team. Obviously, a lot to play this season. It could be but a team that could do a lot of damage next season as well. Is that how you're seeing Kishan?
No, definitely. I think initially I was kind of hoping it was just a manager bounce, but I think after it was the Liverpool game where I kind of changed my mind and just said that, no, these guys are quite serious, because I think he's shown that he's quite adaptable as well. Because I look at how you played against Liverpool, for example, where you kind of exploited the high line and kind of got Werner just running in behind constantly. And then I look at kind of the 2 legs against Atletico, which I think you dominated pretty much every minute of both, which I didn't expect, if I'm being completely honest. So now I think definitely. And then I'm looking also at some of the players which you're leaving out too. So, for example, when you play against Sheffield, I know when you played midweek, you had Chilwell on the bench, you had Giroud on the bench. There were others too, because I know Christensen didn't play, did he?
Pulisic was on the bench.
Callum
Hudson-Odoi was in the bench.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm looking at some of these players, and they're the ones which literally aren't even playing, and you're still getting these wins constantly every week. So yeah, I don't fear you losing at all against Sheffield, and I think moving forward there's definitely positive signs.
No, fair point, Rahul. From your perspective, I mean, do you feel we're in such a momentum that we are probably in shout for silverware this season, whether it be in FA Cup and obviously in the Champions League? I mean, we've got Porto, who we should not take lightly one bit, but it is someone that we should be favourites to go through. And then after that, obviously, we're going to talk to Amar about his, from his perspective with Liverpool. It'll be Liverpool or Real Madrid, who I personally think were a top shout to beat either one of them. And then obviously, whatever happens in the final happens in the final. But how are you seeing the Chelsea progress at the moment from your perspective?
See, I do think you're in that momentum now where, like, if I'm correct, Tuchel hasn't lost a game, has he?
Yes, not lost the game.
No,
13 games. Yeah, 13 games, no losses.
So whether it's new manager bounce or whether it's Tuchel's tactics, right now it doesn't really matter. Like, the main thing is for you, like, is that you're winning and you're progressing through. That Champions League draw was very favourable for you, not just the quarterfinal match, but also the semi-final match, because Real Madrid aren't the team of yesteryear. And Liverpool haven't been on it as much this season. So that draw, you couldn't get a better draw from that side. And obviously what happens in the final, you're going to have to play a strong team regardless, but you do have a very good chance to get to the final. It just depends who plays better on the day. I do think you'll get past Porto. No disrespect to them, but I just do think you'll have too much for them. And I don't think Tuchel will take them as lightly as Pirlo did. And I do say, look, with Tuchel, I do admit, like, his tactics are good. He has implemented good tactics in. Now, whether it's just new manager bounce, we'll find out as the season progresses through. But I do think you are in for a shout of a trophy. The FA Cup is going to be a big trophy for you, like, if you can win it. So there's a very likely chance, and it depends who you get in the next round. As Kish mentioned earlier, if you get like Bournemouth or Southampton, if you win today, you end up getting a Bournemouth or Southampton, you can see a route to the final there. And it just depends who you get in the final.
You know what? The stars are aligned for us to do some madness like that, where we just get a Southampton or a Bournemouth after that. Obviously, we're going to have to go through Sheffield United first of all. But, I think we're a good shout for that. Amar, let's talk a little bit more about this. Obviously, we're in the mix of the whole Sheffield United, which will continue. But just from a Champions League point of view, you guys are drawn Real Madrid. First, tell me your thoughts about that. But the prospect of perhaps facing us once again, hoping that we do go through against Porto. And as I said, it's not going to be easy, but hoping that we do. But Real Madrid and Liverpool, I think that's going to be a very exciting tie in itself. Obviously, a rematch of a couple of seasons ago, the final, where I felt like initially you guys got a bit hard done by, but obviously Salah getting injured in that particular match, that kind of changed a lot of the things. And then obviously Karius had a blunder and a half in that particular game. But How do you guys fancy yourself against Real Madrid, and then obviously the prospect of facing us after that?
Yes and no. It's a strange one because I haven't fancied us against Sheffield United for the last few weeks, the way we've been going. So saying Real Madrid, it's a bit of a stretch, but it's weird. I look at the Real Madrid team and I don't think there's that fear factor anymore. I think the key players that were there are still there and they've got on a bit. Benzema, Modric, Cruz, world-class players, of course, but they're in their 30s now. They're not the same. I know Hazard's there, but he's never really hit the ground. And I think it's weird. It's which Liverpool team shows up. And I don't want to make an excuse with the injuries, but that is going to play a massive part because depending which centre-backs are available, we can play Fabinho in the 6. If Fabinho plays centre-back, I think we're really going to struggle. And at the same time, I can always usually fall back on, we have Anfield. Even without the fans, we have Anfield. But this season, we've seen how it's gone. So I can't even fall back on that. I think apart from Porto, though, if I was honest, Real Madrid would probably be the team that I'd want because there isn't somebody there that I feel like can just bail them out. And then, yeah, exactly. You think of Dortmund, you get scared of Haaland, of course, but with Real, I think we can do them. And then if we can, and I think you guys will definitely beat Porto, that will be a massive fixture in the semi-final. Proper throwback like the old years.
proper throwback.
To be honest, I hate to say it, but I'm scared of playing you guys. It's like you said, you're undefeated. I'd bite your hand off if we could be in the position you're in right now, the FA Cup, the league. I know we're both in the same for the Champions League, but unless Tuchel gets that defeat in the Premier League at some point, and then it'll be a case of let's see how the players bounce back.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't think you can really be stopped because that momentum seems like it's just catching pace. And that's what's scaring me, even if you think ahead of the Real Madrid game, which we shouldn't, of course.
Yeah. And you know what, Amar, like, I honestly, and I'm not being cocky here, I don't know which fixture, when I'm looking at the fixtures, I don't know which one I'm actually scared of because I'm not. Previously, before Tuchel, I was literally scared of every fixture. Anyone, like Burnley, I would be like, oh my God, I think we could lose here, or, Leeds or whoever. But now I honestly look at the fixtures and I'm like, I'm not sure where we lose here. Kishan, from your perspective, Kishan Patel, that is, are you in the same boat as well, where you're looking at the fixtures and you're like, I'm not really worried about any of them. Like, we could go out there and just do any of these teams. I mean, obviously, look, he's going to have to lose one of these days. He's going to have to lose, right? But maybe not this season, yeah? Like, I feel like this season, it may just not happen. What's your thoughts, man?
We're going to do a half Invincibles then. Under Lampard, we did have this inferiority complex that if we played Liverpool or Man City, it'd be like you'd think like Mourinho, what can we do to keep them at arm's length? Whereas with this guy, you're going to try and win every game, which is massive for us as well. That's why we don't fear anyone. And then when you look at our next fixtures, the next 5 in the Premier League, at least, I can't see us losing. I can't see us losing in the FA Cup against Sheffield and then over the 2 legs against Porto. So that is another, 8 games? If we don't, I think that'd be like the longest unbeaten stretch like ever for a manager.
And Kishan, throw in the fact that if we keep keeping clean sheets as well, then it becomes crazy.
Yeah, you look at the teams we played as well. It's been Spurs, United, Liverpool. We had, who else? Everton and Atletico twice, and we ain't conceded any goals, like 0. And this is with the same players that people were saying we should sell under Lampard: Christensen, Rudiger. Yeah. So he's shown what a world-class coach can do, and we shouldn't fear anyone. Especially when you think in the FA Cup, I don't even know if we don't get Southampton next, and if we were to get City in the semi-final, because why not now?
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Exactly, and that's exactly how I've been feeling as well. That I mean, look, a tie straight after beating. Hopefully, we do beat Sheffield United, and then next one, if we do get Bournemouth or Southampton, beautiful. I wouldn't mind that. But as you said, Kishan, even if it's a City or a Man United, I think we can do them. Like, they're going to have to play extremely well to beat us. And this is what I like about Thomas Tuchel. He's pretty much told the team that you're going to have to play well or you're not going to feature in my team. He's already hooked off so many players at halftime. He's not started many players as well at times. And I think the players are starting to get this. They're starting to have this feeling that I have to perform or else my place in this team is in massive jeopardy. And Tuchel's contract being so short, he can't stuff around. He needs to keep winning. That's the only way you're going to get that contract extension. And that's why he said it in his interview that what does it matter if I have a 5-year contract or not? Because if I lose, I'm going to get sacked anyway. So I love that sort of attitude at the moment. Just quickly from Amar, before we go into the Sheffield United lineup for the FA Cup match, Amar, what's the fan base sort of feel in regards to the top 4 race? Are you guys in the top 4? I feel like you still are. I mean, there's some matches that you should be able to win, but it is a bit of a stretch at the moment. Obviously, you got the Champions League, which I feel like that should be your biggest priority, where you guys are a massive threat. You know how to win that particular competition. But what's the fan base feeling at the moment in regards to top 4 finish?
Yeah, you're right, Miz. It's a strange one because it doesn't feel like there's too many games left to make up the ground, but at the same time, there's still enough games where you can't consider it done. So we're kind of dipping our toe in both. Of course, I want full strength in the Champions League. I want to see how far we get with that. But at the same time, Klopp can't afford to drop points in the Premier League, not simply because of the top 4 race, but if we want to keep momentum with the Champions League, we can't get bad results again. Confidence has been so bad, and we just can't let it go back to how it was a few weeks ago. Yeah. I think having Henderson back soon, that will help a lot. But these fringe players like Shaqiri coming in and whatnot, if they can have that good momentum from the win in the Champions League that we've got and keep that going in the league, even if it's not wins, I can see us getting top 4, but I don't think it's likely. I'd probably say it'd be you guys, obviously City first, United second, you guys, and then...
You reckon Leicester will still hang about there, yeah?
You see, with Leicester, it's a weird one. It's almost like the Spurs thing. They're just the underdogs, and they always bottle it. But surely they can't bottle it from where they are. Do you know what I mean? There was even what season was it when they were 4th the whole time or 3rd, and they still didn't finish. Last season. There you go. Yeah, I can't see us getting it, to be honest.
And this season, they're quite far in front still. I just think that it'll be a massive bottle job if they do it. They do have some big fixtures, Leicester this season to still come. So, I mean, if they can pick up some wins in the Premier League in the next few games, because they still have us to play, where I want full revenge for what they did to us just a couple of months ago. Honestly, they taught us a lesson, Leicester. So I want revenge. I can't wait to play Leicester, honestly. I know some of you boys are living in Leicester. Kishan, I know you live in Leicester. Honestly, I could care less. I hope the Leicester fans, honestly, we need to get that victory. I want you to be out there in the streets, proud, wearing that Chelsea jersey when we beat them in the return leg. Do you know what I mean?
The return leg, like it's on aggregate.
I mean, the return match in the Premier League.
Yeah, I'll walk out with it and then I'll have to run home. But
get chased out, Bob.
Fair enough, man.
I think you'll probably wait to see about the FA Cup as well, Miz. If they lose to United, then all the eggs are in one basket, and they can go all guns blazing in the league. Whether if they go through somehow, maybe they drop a few points here and there.
Yeah, and let's face it, they don't have the most deepest squad. As we've said, Harvey Barnes and Madison's still out. But you know what? Nacho has stepped up recently, and Leicester's been picking up wins still. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But as you said, Amar, from a Liverpool perspective, top 4 is probably still a little bit out of the reach. But Champions League, if you guys win, boys. By the way, what happens if let's just say, for argument's sake, Liverpool doesn't win the Champions League? Liverpool doesn't get into top 4, but they win the Champions League. Chelsea make the top 4. obviously Man United, Man City, Leicester make the top 4, and let's say Arsenal get the Europa. Do they all make the Champions League then, or do someone get
No.
bumped out?
It'll be whoever finishes fourth will get bumped out. So if Leicester finish fourth and Liverpool win the league and Liverpool finish like 5th or 6th, Leicester will be knocked out of the Champions League.
Is that because I recently heard that has changed? Apparently, that has changed.
I think we just have 6 teams in the Champions League.
It's always been 5-0 because the 4th place team always loses out. Europa keeps their spot. Europa win it.
Yeah,
well,
but I think it might have been changed.
I think they changed it though.
I think they changed it. I think
Well,
they
so they can
changed
be
it, but it's something to just check up on. But I think you're right, Kishan. I think they might have changed it where it could just be 6 teams in the 6 Premier League teams in the Champions League, which is might as well just call it Premier League.
We can't let them get to the final though, Miz. We just eliminate them at the semis and then that problem's gone.
I know. We're definitely not letting them do that. Don't you worry. We won't let them do that. Let's start looking at this lineup now, Kishan. Let's do this. Hopefully the boys can join in as well, see what they have to say about it. This is the lineup for the Sheffield United that we're going to look for. Kishan, let's do this, man. I'm thinking Kepa over here. I mean, Mendy's played quite a few matches in recent times. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I'd put Kepa in.
I mean, give the man a chance, yeah. In defense, the 3, I don't know if Andres Christensen is going to be fit. He's obviously had some sort of bug a couple of days ago. And we're a bit short in this department with Thiago Silva being not fit either. I think for sure Zuma starts because of his performance against Atletico Madrid. And if he does play, then I think he's probably going to get an opportunity to play in the middle again because he did quite well against Atletico Madrid. So let's put him here. Do you think Andres Christensen is back? I haven't heard any news. Have you heard any news whether he's going to be playing or not?
I haven't heard anything either. As the left centre back, I actually chuck Emerson in. I think he did that, especially after the goal in midweek. And I think like generally when you hear Tuchel how he's been training and stuff, he does sound like he deserves to be that left centre back.
So you would actually put him as left centre back?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's interesting, man. I was actually thinking about keeping with Rudiger, but obviously Rudiger is selected for Germany. Yeah, you'd think. I mean, he did score that goal, but you know what? All right, fine. I'll concede this one with you. We'll go with Emerson. I would have kept Rudiger, but I can see Rudiger probably being rested. But then again, I mean, maybe not. Who are you putting here? Azpilicueta, or are you still going? Or are you bringing in Rudiger here?
I'd have to keep Azpi on that side.
You know, Azpi has played a lot of games, but all right, let's keep Azpi there. I think Azpi probably played there.
Sorry, he has played a lot, but with the international break coming as well, I think he'll get a good rest there.
Yeah, true, very true. It'll be a good rest there, yeah. And I mean, he is an engine. Azpi is an engine. He's one of those players that just has the ability to keep playing and playing and playing. In the left wing back position, Kishan, I'm going with Chilwell because he didn't get that opportunity against Atletico Madrid. Marcos Alonso had a very good game, but maybe he gets rested on this one. We give Chilwell an opportunity. Obviously came off the bench, but what do you think, man?
Yeah, for sure. Has to be Chilwell.
Brilliant. This one's going to be interesting. I want to hear what you have to say about the right wing back spot.
They have no manager right now. It has to be Callum.
Yeah, that's it, my boy. I'm going with Callum as well. I think Reece James deserves a bit of rest. Top-notch game against Atletico Madrid. Yeah.
When you look at that team, you don't have to have 5 defensive players when you're playing against that Sheffield United team.
Exactly right. I completely agree that it's a team that's going to sit back generally. They're not going to be at us where we need to be defensively, careful in this area. And let's put some respect on Callum Hudson-Odoi. His work rate has been very good. But it's his attacking prowess that we need, the one-on-one sort of ability to go past players and then whipping crosses from these sort of areas. So, yeah, man, I completely agree with you. I'd go with this. In the middle, I think we might have some disagreement because you wanted Billy Gilmore, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
What's your thoughts around that, though? Like, I mean, Billy hasn't played for so long, and it is still a Premier League team. It is still a quarterfinal in the FA Cup. Jorginho is someone who's missed out against Atletico Madrid. Obviously, you'd bring one of these double sixes. You'd bring in Jorginho, yeah?
Yeah, I would.
All right, so let's cover that. Let's have Jorginho.
When you think about it, and you have Jorginho and Gilmour, it seems like you're lacking some sort of physicality. But then, if you have Kante and Gilmour, you're lacking height as well. So when you're playing with Gilmour, it is a bit of a weird one. But in terms of giving him sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I think Kante is going to get managed here, bro. I think he had a big game against Atletico Madrid. I don't think he'll be playing this one. I think he'll be definitely rested. I was more thinking maybe a shot for Jorginho and Kovacic to be back, because Kovacic, he played against Atletico Madrid, but prior to that, he didn't really play that many matches. He was off the bench. So that's the sort of route. And I feel like I don't want to just make too many changes. As you can see, Emerson in the left centre back, Jermaine, one of your choices. So what do you think? Are you still going to go with Billy Gilmour, or are you going to go with Kovacic?
I actually think he will start Gilmour as well.
Yeah?
Like from what he says, especially because he gave him a chance at Barnsley. He wasn't amazing, but I think the whole point of keeping him around was that he would get these kind of minutes in the cup. And I think this stage of the cup is still at a level with the team that we've got in terms of getting Sheffield United, where you can put a Gilmour out. Whereas I think in the semis, that's the stage where I think keep it as the players you've actually been using. So I would put Gilmour in here.
Let's do it, bro. Why not? Let's do this. You know you're going to concede the next one. I gave you two, bro. Emerson and Gilmour, they're your players, man. You're going to concede the next ones. Left wing, I'm going with Christian Pulisic because the man deserves to start. Came off the bench, got that assist. I know he should have scored probably in one of those counters, but I think he deserves to start. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, like without a doubt, it has to be in there.
And it's another attacking outlet, and I think in the left side will definitely suit him. Obviously, Callum Hudson-Odoi being in the right, that'll be perfect. Left side, Mason Mount for me comes back because obviously he didn't get that match against Atletico Madrid. I don't think he's going to miss out 2 matches in a row. I know there's a big shout for Ziyech probably playing this off the back of that goal against Atletico Madrid, but I'm more inclined to go with Mason Mount and give Ziyech a bit of a break. Obviously, Ziyech has been playing quite a few matches in recent times, so kudos to Tuchel for that. But what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I'd say the same. He played that high-intensity game on, I think it was Wednesday. So Mount's been about for a bit on the bench, and he even got rested against Everton a few fixtures ago, so he should be.
Oh, yes, you're right. Absolutely. So we agree with that. That's brilliant. I think up front, this is my man, bro. This is my man.
For sure.
Because Timo Werner, I think he had a big game against Atletico Madrid, ran like an animal. I wouldn't want to see him get busting his backside for this. Kai Havertz had a big game as well, and he's been playing quite a lot of games back to back, so he could probably deserve a rest here. And those boys are going to Germany and playing for Germany. I'm not sure. Is Kai Havertz going to Germany? I did see Timo Werner, but I'm not sure if Kai Havertz is in the team. But nonetheless, look, they deserve the rest. But overall, this is the team. Kishan, what do you think? You happy with this? It should do the trick against Sheffield United?
Yeah, I think anyone we put out should do the trick, but we've definitely got way more than enough in that team to get past them.
All right, let's go through the boys now and see what they think as well. I'll go to you, Rahul, first up. You saw the lineup. What's your thoughts? You think that should be more than enough, capable to take care of Sheffield United? It doesn't have they do have a caretaker manager at the moment, but I mean, do you reckon this is more than capable of taking care of them and moving us into the semi-finals?
Yeah, I think he'll do the job. I kind of agree with Kish. I think just the way Sheffield are right now, regardless of what team you put out, it's still going to be a reasonable team, whichever way it is. I think you should do the job. You've got Giroud there. He's got the power. He's got the height. Pulisic's got the trickery. Mount's going to be putting balls in. Jorginho can play his through balls. And I do think Gilmour will start. If you're not going to start Gilmour now, I don't think he's going to play again this season. So this is the only opportunity to play him. So if you do want to get him in now. because I do think he's going to beat Sheffield regardless. The only thing with Gilmore is he's going to have a physical battle on his hand. Is he? It's the best time to test him against Sheffield. It's going to be physical. Let's see what he's got. If he can play, good. If he can't, then you know where he needs to improve. And this is your best opportunity to see him in a game. There's a bit of pressure on him. No one's going to be expecting him to do much, but you just need to be able to hold your own in a game to an extent at least. And Sheffield are going to be physical. So if you're not willing to play him now, when are you going to play him?
Yeah, and look, I completely understand what you're saying, Rahul, in regards to if you're not going to play him now, when are you going to play him? But I feel like, all of these games that Billy should have played should have been done before. Like, it's quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Like, it's not really time where you want to give minutes to people now. Do you know what I mean? Like, just experiment. But look, Billy Gilmore is a very, very good player. So, for me, it's not, we're not really experimenting with Billy Gilmore here. He would actually add to this particular squad. And looking at this particular lineup, he's got plenty of, he's got plenty of quality players around him to sort of help him out. So he could more than do a job here. It'll probably be something like this, where he gets the opportunity to sort of go up and down a little bit, which probably help him out a little bit as well. And in this particular structure at the moment under Thomas Tuchel, defensively we've been strong, and Jorginho has looked very strong as well. Amar, from your point of view, you saw our lineup. What do you think? You think that's more than good enough to get that victory against Sheffield United?
Yeah, I think you guys will definitely get a result. I think, to be honest, you could throw me up front and you'll still get a result in that game. But
probably get yourself a hat-trick.
Yeah, just the point on Gilmore. I don't know. I know there's players around him to help, but seeing him in a 2 might be like you said, it might be a bit too much responsibility for FA Cup quarterfinal. You still get the result, but I think he'd be a lot better suited with 2 behind him in a 3 and just letting him float around. Whether just him and Jorginho might be a bit too much for him. Maybe not be the perfect game, even if you are going to win it.
Yeah, fair enough, man. I tend to agree as well that it may not necessarily be a perfect sort of match. That's what you said, right, Amar? Like, it may not be a perfect game for him, or do you think that it may be a perfect game for him?
No, I don't think it'll be suited to him, to be honest.
Yeah.
With playing in a 2. I know when you talk about the opposition, Sheffield United, they're not that great. If you can't play him in an FA Cup, when can you play him? I get all of that. But when you think about the actual side and how he's going to be playing, I don't see him being part of a 2-man midfield. Yeah,
I have to agree. And this particular comment from Declare, thank you for the comment. In all honesty, this is going to be a harder game than we think. Sheffield have nothing else but the cup as the league is done. They will go out. You know what? I was just saying it, just to throw a spanner in the mix to everyone. Sheffield United, they're going to get relegated. So their players are really going to try their best to play their best and maybe try and impress other Premier League clubs to see if they can get some sort of like a transfer to those particular clubs. So they're going to try their best to play. And they are one of those ones that scored against us, I believe. The 2 that we conceded, the own goal was, I think, Sheffield United.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so, we should not take them lightly. I mean, we are favourites to go through. We should go out there and hammer them. But, these guys have a lot to prove. And it won't be easy. So from that perspective, Billy Gilmore, even though we do have Billy Gilmore in the squad, in the lineup, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kovacic, to be honest. Kishan Suchak, from your perspective, do you think we are clear favourites to go through here?
I think most definitely you are, but I am inclined to agree with that comment though, because obviously Sheffield don't have anything else, do they? And I think it's quite different putting Gilmore in if, for example, he's next to a Kovacic or Kante as well. But I think putting him in kind of with a lot of changes around him as well, I think it is a bit of a risky one, really. But although obviously looking at the side, you should have enough. No,
absolutely. Sean, Chelsea FC has actually put everyone, all of us, back into the seat by saying Gilmore in the FA Cup versus Liverpool last year, he was very good. It's so true. So
it was bloody brilliant, wasn't he?
Man, the kind of job that he did, Amar, you would know, man. Honestly, that was unbelievable game from Billy Gilmore. And then he backed it up against Everton as well. So Merseyside was absolutely demolished by Billy Gilmore. look, I wouldn't mind if Billy starts. I think he's a quality player, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start either, because Tuchel might be looking at this and going, yeah, we shouldn't be just mucking around in this particular competition. We're looking to win this. So last thing you want is some sort of mishap happening. And it may not be because of Gilmore, but you just, you want to take it seriously. But look, nonetheless, I think we're going to go through and that pretty much wraps us up for this particular show, guys. We'll do a lot of preview of the key matches that's happening this weekend. Arsenal versus West Ham. Some of the boys think it might be a draw. Some of the boys think could be an Arsenal win. Then we look through the Aston Villa versus Spurs. None of the boys are backing Spurs for this one. I think they're in the mud at the moment. Leicester Man United. Most of the boys have sort of said that it could be a bit of a blockbuster match, to be honest. It could go either way. Leicester, heavy chance for getting through. City against Everton. Everyone has gone for City. I think it's overwhelmingly favourites for City to go through. And once again, Chelsea versus Sheffield United. I think it's quite safe to say that we are the heavy favourites for that, and it'll be a massive shock if we don't go through. This is the lineup that Kishan and myself has come out with. Look, I do want to put the caveat out there. Kishan's choice, Emerson and Gilmore. I'd probably go with Rudiger. And then probably Kovacic. But look, the front three is something we can agree on. And look, it may just be something like this. As someone has, Taha Deb, let's just bring this up. Taha Deb has commented, I'm done predicting Tuchel's lineups. Honestly, it could just be anything. Guys, thank you heaps for joining. Please follow each and every one of my panelists. All of the information is in the description right now. Before we go, some final thoughts. I want to hear how you guys all felt. Rahul, from your perspective, how was it, man? How did you enjoy this particular first sort of stream at the other side of the point?
Yes, I did. Firstly, I just want to say thank you for having me and thank you for setting it all up. And I just want to thank the other guests here with me as well for coming on. So I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to continuing this on. And just thank you.
Brilliant. Kishan Suchak. I might as well just call you Suchak from West Ham. That's probably a better way to sort of distinguish between the two Kishans. From here on, you're Suchak for me. Suchak, what's your thoughts? Do you enjoy this particular stream?
No, it's been great being on, especially kind of with the boys as well. So no, thanks for having me on as well. And, looking forward to carrying on and seeing you all next week as well.
Brilliant. Amar, my man, some final thoughts?
Yeah, nice one, Miz. Like the boys have said, thanks for having us on. Really enjoyed it. And hopefully Liverpool will get a string of few good results and beat you guys in the semi-finals so can rub it in the next few shows. I'm just waiting for that first Tuchel loss. That's it. Once it comes in.
if we lose to you guys, if that's our first loss, oh my God, I won't be able to handle that. Kishan, my man, obviously you've always been in the show, but some final thoughts from you.
It was a good show and it was great to have with me as well. And I think this week was quite light in terms of games, but in the next weeks when everyone's team is playing, the show will be even bigger and better. Absolutely.
Obviously, once we have more sort of Premier League games, it's going to get more heavier and better. Guys, thank you heaps for joining. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya.